Hi everyone, it's Lavinia and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to share some cards that I made, and these are going to be cards that I'm going to be selling at my craft fair, and this is part of an open collab that I found on Tony's channel, Tony's Magical Arts and Crafts. I will link her channel in the description box, and this is a collab which is hosted by Grandma Misty. That is her channel handle, and it's hashtag Stash Builder Collaboration 2025. And it's open to jump in and out and post around the 1st of each month. We are here at the 20th of July, so I don't know, I'm either behind or early, but this is the point in time where I've made some cards and I thought that I would go ahead and make this video. And it's just making cards for any occasion using your stash. So I'll go ahead and show you some of the cards. This is just the beginning section of one card that I'm going to be making, and this is that parchment paper cardstock that I have, and I used my template, let me see if I have it here, for making the wreath builder. And I actually made another one where instead of this hexagon, I just measured out and cut a square, and that actually worked out well for this particular piece. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so here it is. So it's one of those extra postcards that I had, and I just measured 4 by 4. I was going to do the hexagon, but then the square would have gone over. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead and try to make it as a 4 by 4 inch square. And so I just measured it and cut it out that way. And then when I had my platform, so this is the We Are Memory Keepers platform, and let's say I had this here and this here, then what I would do is for this particular one, based on how this was on the platform, I had measured 3 inches as the middle and just went around stamping. So I would do that, have these, and sometimes would have more than one stamp, and I did it that way. And then I took a die and stamped "Thank you ever so much" in the colors to match, and I thought that turned out really pretty. And this is something that I'm going to go ahead and then put on one of the cards. In the same similar fashion, I made this one with this hummingbird. So I have a hummingbird stamp, and then I just used some markers, some Sharpies or other type of alcohol markers to color in the hummingbird, and then I glued that down. So the stamping part were these hibiscus and then these leaves going around, and then I just glued that down. So I thought that turned out really pretty as well. Just doing a little practice here on the back, but that'll get glued down to a card. Then the other card that I made is this one, saying birthday wishes. So this linen paper and this background paper are papers from the Crafters Companion Collection, Layout Collection. And so it's just a nice little card with some lace here on the side, and then the birthday wishes in this pretty paper. So I have that in my stash. And then what I did is I made this one. So this is, again, just white cardstock. And then I took some of that, this gray parchment paper cardstock, and I used, let's see, this one is this embossing folder. I think I got this, well, it was either at Joann's or at Michael's. And I embossed that. So that's the back of it. And then I just took my inks. So it's this brand of inks from the ink pad pigment, and in different colors. I used a couple of different greens, orange, yellow, a little bit of blue in there, and I inked around that. Then I cut it down to size to fit this portion of the card. And then this is just an extra piece of cardstock that I had, and I decided to put that on top here just to give it a little bit of a break. And then I took one of my die sets and stamped just a note, and I went over the edges here with a little bit more of that ink and just left that just a little bit lighter to stand out. And then this is a die set that I recently showed. I think I got that at Michael's, and it's a bird nest themed die set. So then I use some gel pens and some markers to color in the nest. So that is a die cut nest. And then this is just a piece of ephemera, one of those plastic ones. I did I guess opening up of the bag and going through each piece. So I have that there, and then this is just a simple card that can be used really for any occasion. So I'll be selling that at my craft fair. And then the other card I have is this one. It says thank you. Last year I sold some cards at my craft fair, and I had some Christmas cards, and it was on Friday and Saturday. And on Saturday, one of the ladies came back. She had bought some Christmas cards and asked if I had thank you cards, and I did. And I was only selling Christmas cards at that time, so I thought that I would put some other occasion cards in. So what I did is I used this folder, this embossing folder, which I believe also I got at Michael's. So again, with the same parchment paper here, just to give a little bit of that tone background so it wouldn't be so stark white. And then again, I used the ink pad, different colors to highlight the flowers and the leaves, blended that in, and I was using these blending tools. So the large and the small. Got those at Hobby Lobby. And then this is a sticker from one of the sticker packs that I had bought many years ago at Hobby Lobby, and I thought that that was really pretty to go with the colors. And then again, die cut the thank you, stamped it, and then went over it with the inks and then just glued that down. I used Fabri-Tac to glue down the sentiments just to make sure that they don't pop off. But this again too is just a nice little simple card, I think. Let me see what else I might have. Oh, then what I'm doing is I thought I would die cut some sentiments. So these are some die sets from the Crafter's Companion collection, the layout collection. And what I did is I used my stamping platform. I still have the stamps on here. I sort of spaced them out, used some white cardstock here. So I had them separated out, and then these are some of the sentiments that I use, and these sentiments are also from the Crafter's Companion collection. So just a variety of wishing you well, happy birthday, have an amazing day, thinking of you, thanks, best wishes, hello, and birthday wishes. And I had also stamped out the thank you and just a note and use those for these particular cards. And that's why I decided to use the ink, because it was a little bit too stark white against the background. So I thought that that turned out pretty like this. This one was a little bit off center because when I had cut, so this would have been all, for example, on one piece of cardstock, and then I cut them out to have them go through. This is my little mini Revolution die cutting machine. But I thought what I could do is I could add like a little gemmy maybe here, or a little pearl, something like that. So even though it's a little bit off kilter, having that there will balance it out. And I thought what I would do is make several of these just to have on hand, so that as I make cards, I can add them. I also had an idea for my craft fair. What I would do is perhaps make some cards without the sentiment, and maybe sell maybe 2 for $5 or something like that, where they can pick their own sentiment and glue it down on their own. I don't know, that's an idea that I have. We'll see. But I am going to be making some more stamping of sentiments, and maybe some more stamps of just images, just to have on hand, so that when I'm ready to make the card, I can just pick and choose from what I already have cut. This way, I thought I could watch videos, maybe listen to audiobooks, and do this type of die cutting. So that is it for this video. And really enjoying this. And again, the hashtag, if you wanted to join in or maybe just show some of your cards that you're making, is hashtag Stash Builder Collaboration 2025. So you're just pretty much building your stash of cards. And since I am joining into that craft fair, and my cards did actually kind of well last year, I thought that I would go ahead and make some more and join in this collab. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.